In regards to growing a business, pay-per-click can be like putting gasoline on a fire. I mean, if when you get it right, the business can grow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x. But you can also lose money with the same speed and go the other direction. So it's a scary proposition. How do you put yourself forward as a premium service provider so the client knows they're in good hands? Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant. Let's be honest about pay-per-click management services. The client has to pay you and the advertising budget to actually run the campaigns. And so all of while you're talking, the business owner's doing the math, and it just gets scarier and scarier the more you explain all of what's involved in making it work. So how do you make the decision easy? How do you make it simple? And how do you make the client feel good about interacting with you? Let's walk through a couple of examples on the board. Let's think about it in terms of running an e-commerce site. So your client sells smaller priced items, right? Smaller purchases. So those could be children's clothes, they could be handmade items, they could be physical books, etc. Okay? So that is what they sell. And so you want to run PPC campaigns to their services or to their products. What you should show them is a process on how you plan to get it right. Right? Don't just say, hey, we want to, run all your campaigns. Show them your professionalism. So this is kind of obvious in the PPC world, but make it clear that there are certain metrics that you're willing to be held accountable to, certain objective metrics. Now, everything isn't about closing a bunch of sales, but it is about making sure that what you do doesn't damage the business. Be clear on what those objectives are so you know when you get to the end, we're talking about the same stuff. Now you can work the process backwards. So if you are helping them sell more of their smaller ticket items, there's some landing page that people have to go to buy. Landing page, shopping cart, something. And so do you know what that is? Does it need to be tweaked in some way, etc.? Prior to that, you've got to do funnel design. So how do people get to the actual landing page? And are they buying things on the first time through the site, second time through, the 9th time through? Is there a salesperson involved in the process? Are there email autoresponders involved in the process, etc.? You got to understand this funnel, and you may have to make some edits to it. Prior to that, you got to do good targeting. So we're talking about retargeting their existing audience, reaching out to cold audiences. Are they warm on some level, etc., etc. So each of these things deserves their own process. You got to show the client that you understand that all these things are necessary. You need your own internal mechanism, your own internal method to get to clear targeting with the client, to clarify or to improve or refine their funnel with the client. So when you step forward to the landing page, we all know what landing page or shopping cart or buy button is the one that we're all optimizing for. And then we can all sit and talk about the right metrics. You've got to show your client this level of thinking before you begin the actual engagement. Let's think about it in terms of making larger purchases. So let's say that your client sells $4,000 items, $10,000 items, some software platform, some large consulting offering or what have you. So now it's the same basic process, but your systems should be a little bit different. So first of all, what are the metrics, right? What are these metrics that we're agreeing on the front end that we're going to measure our success by? Now let's step one step behind that one. So what's the landing page? Now, if it's a small ticket, there's probably one page with a lot of different things on it. But when you buy bigger ticket items, typically there's just one major landing page. Are you split testing that page? Who's editing that page, etc.? One step before that, we got to do funnel design. If someone's buying a $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 product or whatever, then there's probably a phone call somewhere in that process. Who makes that phone call? And should you talk to the director of sales or the salesperson to understand what their current script is for those calls? Should you edit that script in some way depending on how you want to drive traffic through it? Are you even thinking about that part of the process, right? One step before that is targeting. Again, are we targeting an existing audience? Are we targeting more complex audiences? Are we targeting cold audiences? And if we're selling higher ticket services, we probably aren't targeting 1,000,000 different people. It may just be 1,000 people. And do you have the ability, do you have the expertise to target a small number? You're the expert in PPC. You know there's a lot of things going on in here, and you can add more steps if you need to. But what's important for your client is that you show them you have a process that's designed to get success, and you're willing to discuss that success with them. You have that's on their end. For you internally, you have your method of getting to clear targeting. You can help the client figure this out more quickly. You have a method for designing funnels to help them get clear on their funnel more quickly. You have a method for establishing a clear landing page or refining their existing one if you need to. And you're prepared to have the big boy, big girl conversation when it's time to talk about the results of the campaign. Show the client your professionalism on the front end. It will lower their fear. It will lower their trepidation. You'll get fewer objections. And that way you can step forward and serve them the way that you know that you should. If you accept this challenge, there is an opportunity in there for you. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, it's Alzay again, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. I realize that things can look really simple and clean and neat and easy when they're laid out on a whiteboard, but trying to apply these things inside your business can have their own level of frustration. So what do you do now? What are your next steps? Well, if you want to watch another video, you can. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you probably should. But if you're over the information and you want help packaging and selling your unique consulting services, there's a program that I have, and you can get information on that program via a free training available right now on this page somewhere. So again, thank you for your time for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.